Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Get Life Energy YouTube channel. I'm Becca De Mulan, and I'm a holistic health practitioner, and I'm here to teach you about stuff that can make your life better. So I'm on a road trip, and today is day 8, and I was going to do a video journal every single day, but I did a couple on the way up, and now I'm doing a couple on the way back. But I'm definitely learning some stuff on this journey because the purpose of the road trip was to go home and see my family for my grandfather's funeral. And we had known he was going to pass soon because he'd been on hospice for a couple months. He was 96, so he had a very long, beautiful life. Full life full of many marriages and lots of adventures. And anyhow, after the funeral, there was some stress, as you can imagine, a lot of intense emotions, and my shoulder kind of spasmed on me, and I developed this massive knot, and all day I was doing this kind of thing, like, oh, asking my dad to rub on it, asking my mom to stick her elbow in there. And as a body worker, I know when something's up with my body, and I was like, this is definitely bothering me. Well, the night of the funeral, it spasmed and it turned into what is a pinched nerve. So my thumb is still numb to the tip for now, going on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Going on a week, I've got a numb finger, and therefore that means that something is impinging my nerve, probably in my neck, potentially in my shoulder girdle. But whatever the case, it's making it really hard to do the driving because it's kind of constantly hurting. And I'm really having to realize that regardless of how many friends I would like to see or how many hikes or whatever I'd want to achieve on this trip, the number one priority is self-care. And I have got to stop and go for a walk around the block for 20 minutes or do my yoga stretching. So I am here at my aunt's house in El Dorado Hills. I haven't seen them since last summer when I saw them for a wedding, and before that I hadn't seen them in several years. And they're kind of like my favorite aunt and uncle on my dad's side of the family. They're just really cool people, and so it's been wonderful to get to see them. And they've got this beautiful place, and it's just outside of Sacramento. Look at this. I've got a pool. It looks, this is making me crack up, but you see that over there? That's my foam roller. It blew into the water. Luckily it's foam, therefore it's going to be just fine. Oh, and I wanted to show you this. So when you don't wash your curly hair for a few days, because who needs to wash your hair every day? Come on now. When you haven't washed your hair in a few days and then you wash it, this is what it does. So I've got super poofy hair going on, but luckily I have a membership to a chiropractic company called The Joint, and it's like a nationwide chain. I've been going to the one in San Diego that I go to for like 5 years. So I go there every single week, more often than not, and I see primarily the same 1 or 2 chiropractors. But all chiropractors are trained in how to do adjustments, and they know what they're doing, so you can explain to them what's going on and they can do their thing. So luckily, there's Joint chiropractics all over the nation. They're in Oregon, California, like they're all over the place, right? So when I was in Washington State, where my mom lives, I know that there's a Joint up there in Vancouver. So I went right away the day after the funeral, the day after all the spasming, or maybe it was, I don't know, within a day or two of all this nastiness in my shoulder, which made it nearly impossible to sleep. So good luck doing long drives with no sleep. Good luck keeping a positive attitude and having energy to do hikes and all this shit when you have barely any sleep. So anyway, I went to the chiropractor and I got an adjustment. Now, it did help a little bit with regard to getting some bones moving and a bunch of things cracked. However, the numbness wasn't gone, and it wasn't like it took away the pain. It just helped a little bit, but it was pretty severe for a couple of days, and I've been taking different kinds of anti-inflammatories, like I'm taking acetaminophen and ibuprofen and some heavier stuff at night to go to bed. But anyway, I'm not a big fan of pain medication because all it does is really tell your brain that you're not feeling the pain, but it doesn't actually do anything to stop the physical thing. You know what I mean? if you have a sprained ankle and it's really inflamed, an anti-inflammatory will help. But you know what I mean? It's like if you have a pinched nerve and you take some drugs, you might feel a little bit better, but that nerve isn't not getting pinched anymore. So it doesn't help with the cause of the problem. It just helps with the symptom. But when it's at this point where it's really painful and you can barely function, barely drive, barely keep your head straight, where you're crying every 2 minutes because it's, you know, flaring up with like a zzz feeling, you know, it feels like electric shock going down your arm. You know, my muscle was kind of going in my shoulder. Like, it was bad. So you got to do what you got to do. But I know that the only way to really heal myself is to fix the cause of the problem, which is either in my spine or is like maybe in a muscle in my shoulder rotator cuff area. But anyway, I've got my yoga mat out, and I'm grateful that there's a chiropractic office here in Folsom, which is near El Dorado Hills, California. So I'm going to go to the chiropractor again today. So I just went like 2 or 3 days ago, and I'm going to go back today. And I just swipe my thing, don't have to make an appointment. I can just walk in, and, you know, I might have to wait a few minutes, but adjustments only take a little while. So I'm going to go to the chiropractor before I start driving again today. And I wanted to go visit some friends that live in the Bay Area, but they're all near like Berkeley and Oakland, which is a good 2.5 hours west of here. And it's definitely not on my way home. So I'm realizing that this might just not be the trip as much as I would have liked it to be, seeing as how I am having this physical issue. It might be best that I give myself more time to drive home so that I only have to drive for 5 hours today and I only have to drive for 5 hours tomorrow, rather than driving for like 8 or 9 hours. That's what I did on the way up, and that was brutal. I do not recommend that. So that's my plan, is to self-care, do some stretching, roll my back and shoulders out on my foam roller. I've got my little 3-pound weights here so I can do some like rotator cuff strengthening exercises and see if that helps. Hopefully it doesn't make it worse. And yeah, I'm grateful that I've got family in this part of town. This is a beautiful sanctuary. It's so freaking relaxing and quiet over here. It looks like, if you look at these hills behind me, do you see this? I was telling my uncle that, I go, have you seen Dances with Wolves? He's like, oh, I've never seen that. But I was like, I feel like I'm looking out on the prairie in like 1426, you know? But anyhow, self-care, self-care, self-care. I'm not getting any younger, and I got to take care of my body so that I can use it to heal other people. So that's the big lesson I'm learning with this journey, is like, you got to meet yourself where you're at, have compassion for where you're at, and not try to accomplish too many things when it's unrealistic. So wish me luck. I'll make another journal tomorrow and keep you guys updated on how I'm doing. The plan tonight is to try to make it down to like Bakersfield or somewhere outside of there. That would mean I'd only have about 4.5 hours left for the final day, which would be amazing, because then I could actually get home before it's like dark, you know. This whole trip I've been getting to where I'm going at night, like 10, 11, 12 a.m. Last night I got here around like 7 p.m. So that was a lot better. But, you know, it's, I'm going to need to settle and unpack the van and, you know, like get my bearings so that I can go to work on Friday. So the earlier I can get back on Thursday, the better. And I'll have to just plan a longer road trip in the future when there's not a funeral that I'm rushing to get to, and visit my friends in the Bay at that time. So yeah. All right, guys. Have a beautiful day and take care of yourself. Do some yoga, jump in the pool, and take care of your body, because you only get one.